Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome back to another Thursday talk, the Thursday chat that we normally do. Jericho Green, he'll be in here as soon as he get his green gear together and jump on the live stream. He'll be here every Thursday around 5-ish. I got to give myself a little flexibility because I be doing all kind of stuff. But around 5-ish, we go live. Me and the ABL. Derek, he had other business ventures that he had to get involved in, so he couldn't join us. And my boy Jericho Green just jumped in the chat. Jericho Green, what it do?
Yeah, boy.
All right, so man, I wanna jump right into this into the debate. And I know y'all watched it. I know everybody watching this watched it. But the debate for me was a thank God moment because I feel like Pence redeemed the Trump administration and redeemed conservative values. What do y'all think, man?
I agree 100%, man. He's a smooth operator. That man has been there before and she has not. And that was abundantly clear. And like, it wasn't anything like, that stereotypical politician, that untrustworthy kind of vibe they give. It wasn't any of that. It was just a man who was prepared, who has done this before, who knew what he was talking about, who had facts and logic behind him, because feelings only get you so far. Pretty soon they start to fade, they change. But this man knew what he was talking about. I mean, hitting those facts, recalling those numbers off the top of his head like nothing. I mean, it was a clinic. And real quick before we go on, RIP to Kamala Harris.
Yeah, she took that L. She took the L, bro. That super L.
Yeah, it was a glorious debate. I knew Mike Pence would do that because I saw him when he was the governor of Indiana, and he would have these little talks where he would get fiery. And people think, oh, Mike Pence is just a cool, calm, collected. He can be that, but when he need to turn it up, you turn it up on you real quick. He go from cold to hot ASAP. I'm talking about immediately. And I like how he handled himself during the debate. Very intelligent. Like towards the end of his statement, where he would start to get cut off by the moderator, he would talk a little bit more loudly so you hear him, but he wasn't shouting at her. Kind of passive aggressive a little bit, but it worked. It worked. I like the way he did it. He wasn't coming off too overbearing, but at the same time, you're going to hear these words and you're going to get this L, Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, to me, she sounded like somebody that just watched CNN all day and repeats whatever she hears on CNN rather than being prepared for actual debate.
100%, bro. It's funny because she reminded me of that. It's the difference between, I look at them as two versions of myself in high school. The version of myself, Mike Pence version of myself, is when I studied for the test. I knew exactly what I was doing. I stayed up all night and I get in front of the exam and I'm like, oh, I got this. I studied. I know exactly. And Kamala Harris is like when you just fluffed it and you was overly confident and you got in front of the test and they had you couldn't do multiple choice. They had you fill in the blank. And so you like, bro, I ain't got nothing. I just ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even guess. I just ain't got it. You just want to
start bubbling random stuff.
Yeah. That's what Kamala Harris did, dude. She just looked flustered, because she was trying to play that, I don't know. How I got an attitude, I don't want to say black girl attitude, but that's kind of what she was swinging like. She got in there and she was like, excuse me, Pence, I'm talking. Like trying to be nasty. Yeah. But she wasn't saying nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I think that was when she would do that. Oh, I'm talking, Mr. Vice President. I think that was her stalling. I think that was her trying to give her mind, a couple seconds to kind of catch up or come up with something to say. Because like I said, like we all saw, this man was prepared. It's like he had already gone through a dress rehearsal for this. He knew what was up. He knew what was coming. He knew what to have in his chamber next to fire upon this poor lady. And it showed, man, it was, I normally don't like to see women handled like that by a man. That wasn't cool. But this time, bruh, come on. He put those debate hands all over her. She had nothing for it. One time she, oh man, got her.
Bro, when they were talking and he cut her off successfully, that was embarrassing for her. He was like, no, Kamala, are you going to stack the court? And she shouldn't have, if she was a good debater, she shouldn't have let him continue. But what she did was start giggling. Excuse me. And he just kept going. And then she shut up and gave him a clean slate to go straight through and say, no, you and Biden are going to stack the court. If you don't get what you want and they get the third conservative Supreme Court justice, y'all are going to add numbers and cheat. And she just got completely flustered. She just don't have the gall to stand up and say something.
Not at all. Not in the least bit. And like you said, it showed because when Pence spoke, like you said, she pretty much just got quiet, got real small. All this, I'm speaking and a little side looks. I mean, that was all she really had. And then it didn't work. Like she tried it, it didn't work. Then it's like, okay, what I got? I got one bullet in the chamber. I fired it and it missed. I missed the whole side of the barn. I didn't hit nothing. I hit the air. I hit the ground, and nobody got shot. Nobody got no shrapnel or nothing. So it's like, all right, what am I going to do now? I'm just sitting here getting beat in the head by this man. Like Jericho said, it's unfortunate to see, but it is what it is. You get into the ring, you got to be ready to fight. It's like going to the UFC. If you want to fight this man, then be prepared to get them blows straight to the head. And if you're not, then oh well. And that's pretty much what happened to her in the debate.
I think it was almost like, excuse me, B. Tatum. It was almost like she was in awe of him when he was speaking. She got caught up in it too. She got a little starstruck too, because she was so like, oh man, I should have done that. I should be that prepared. I should be that clean. I should be that polished. But it didn't work. It really didn't work. She thought her emotions were going to get her through it. She thought that moderator might have helped her out a little bit more. And with all the time she had, that's what makes it more sad. It's not like they popped it up. All right, pop debate, 12 hours, be here. No, she had time, which makes her L even worse. And she took a lowercase and a capital L.
Yeah, dude, she was just so, like you said, Jericho, you couldn't have said any better than that. I think that everybody was listening to Mike Pence. Like when he was speaking and he was dropping them facts, man, and he was dropping them numbers off memory, you could see him. He kind of looked down a few times, but it was very seamless. Kamala Harris was obviously looking down. She would look down for like periods of time and then come up and read off a script. He was putting out facts that I was like, bro, this dude is brilliant. I didn't know Pence had it like that. Because at first I was like, dang, he kind of slow. I want him to just boom, 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 boom. But it's like he was thinking through what he wanted to say, and it was coming out very smoothly. And he killed Kamala's career. In my personal opinion, her career was already dead since Willie Brown. But he killed her career when she boasted and said, Mike Pence, how dare you tell me I'm the prosecutor on the stage? And he like, I'm glad you brought that up. And I was like, oh my God, he's gonna do it.
He was ready
to do it, and he did it.
Yep, she wanted those words back. Right after she said that, she was trying to catch those words and get them back in her mouth. Because he was like, good, I'm glad you said that. And when he dropped that 19, if you were a colored, you were 19 times more likely to be convicted on a minor drug charge under her reign. The very thing that she just came out of her mouth. Give me those back. No. Mike was like, thank you. I'm glad you said that. Let me go ahead and put a little daisy on top of that mound of dirt on your grave site. And that's what it was like. Seeing Mike Pence do that was like seeing your friend fight that you didn't know he knew how to fight. You were about to go in there and help him, and you're like, oh no, he got skills. Okay, he did it to him. I was pleasantly surprised. They better hope nothing happens to Trump and Pence gets in there.
Oh, I keep saying it, man. It's like, I want Trump to be out the way. You want Trump to get the virus and pass away. It's like, no, you don't want that, because it ain't going to be Nancy Pelosi. It's going to be Mike Pence. And really, Trump is kind of a moderate kind of guy. He might even lean liberal sometimes. Mike Pence is not going to play that. Okay, you going from your best friend to like your worst boss in the world. He's good for us on the right, absolutely. But for the left, they're going to be crying them big tears. If you were crying tears under Donald Trump because you thought he was a fascist artist, you're going to be crying some really big tears under Mike Pence. He's not going to take no games, ain't going to be no playing around. That's what it is. You saw that right there on the stage. Like I was saying earlier, go look back at his takes when he was the governor of Indiana. He'd get fired up, turned up real quick. Brilliant too, very sharp. Yeah, Mike Pence, excellent.
Dude, I'm like, I love Trump, man. I love Trump. I think he a boss. But man, I want Mike Pence to debate Joe Biden. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's over because Trump. If Trump, all Trump has to do to win, just let Joe Biden talk. Don't talk over him. Just let him put enough rope out there to hang himself. And then when he hang it, then you just jerk the rope up on him. That's all you got to do. Hold the rope while he's hanging from there, because he don't have any merits. The Green New Deal issue is on their website as they endorse the Green New Deal, but then they're saying that they don't endorse the Green New Deal. Then their deal is exactly like the Green New Deal. The taxes. We are coming out of one of the hardest times economically in our country, other than a recession or even a depression. We are literally, people have lost jobs forever. Some people are just now recovering, and you are going to raise taxes on people. See, this is the thing that they do, that they lie about. They go, well, I'm not going to raise taxes on anybody but the people making $400,000. The fact that you eliminate Trump's tax cuts is raising taxes. See, technically, he could say, I'm not raising taxes. I'm just eliminating that tax cut. I'm not adding anything to it. But that in and of itself is raising taxes, because Trump had a tax cut that went across the board. And so just let them say that and then come back like Pence did and bring it back to American values, bring it back to the American people and patriotism, and not, delving into socialism. And Trump wins hands down.
Yeah, agreed, man. That's one of the things I said about the presidential debate. He should have definitely let Biden dig his own grave. If you just step aside, Biden will kill his own career for you. He'll take care of it for you. And I think Trump definitely learned. I think in the next debate, we're going to see that. We're going to see him let Joe be Joe and do what he does. I mean, how many times have we all been going through our news feed or whatever, and you see, Biden said this. What do you say he wants to see? Who dance in 4 years? What do you say about his leg hair? What do you say about poor kids and white kids? Like, just let him go. He's already wound up. Just let him go. He's going to do it for you. And next time when they're up on that stage, I think you're definitely going to see Trump kind of step back and put his feet up and let Joe go ahead and do all the heavy lifting for him, because he will. In the last debate, he started off strong, but then that Centrum Silver, whatever he was taking, wore off at the end. He'll go ahead and knock himself out for you.
No, you're right on point. You're right on point. If, like you said, if Biden can get his thoughts out there, and that's something else, if he's able to get his thoughts out there, because we all know that Joe Biden pretty much got one foot in the grave. The mind ain't really there. So he's not going to really be able to get stuff out. So when Trump is on the stage, he can just look at him while he's talking and be like, he could just do that and just wait for him to get it out. And then when he gets it out, he'd be like, okay, you're struggling there a little bit. Is everything okay? Are you all right? Now, it's like what you were saying. Let's talk about X, Y, and Z. He can do that, and it'd be easy. See, I think Trump was trying to go for the shock and awe type of approach, just trying to overwhelm him. But it's no point. He's already overwhelmed just by being alive right now in his current state of mind. All you got to do is just capitalize on that, and that's an easy win.
Yeah, real quick, B. Tatum. I just wanted to say something real quick on that Green New Deal you brought up. Basically, all they did was switch the nameplate on the office door. He took out Green New Deal and put in Biden's plan. It's the same thing. It's going to cost the same amount of money. It's going to get squeezed from the same group of people, man. Call it what you want. We lose.
100%. And these are the things that it's all Trump has to say, is just to allude to these things and let these people dig themselves a grave. One of the things that I think Trump can do is that he needs to do the approach kind of like Pence did, is try to interject when somebody's wrong. Just say a couple words, because if you just say that's not true, that's enough. That's enough to show that you are contesting what he's saying. And if they move on to another question, just do what Pence did. Say, okay, thank you for the question, but I'm gonna go back and address what you didn't let me address a minute ago. And Pence is he's just so classy. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, oh, thanks for the question. I really appreciate it. But I'm going to take the time to go back and address this, instead of him just arguing with the lady and doing all that. But, I don't know, man. I think when I did not like Trump's first debate against Hillary Clinton, I was like, oh, he blew it. Like he just didn't do well. And I think this debate is the same way. It's kind of like, I think Trump beat Biden, but he could have buried Biden. This could have been over with Trump's debate. So he kind of left it lingering in the air. You know what I'm saying? This is like, round one, nobody knows who won that. You know what I mean? And then round two, Pence knocked out the vice president. Kamala Harris. And then this is the round. This is like the third round. And it's like, somebody got to win. Because if you lose, then you may end up losing the whole thing. You got to win, then they get a win, and then there was like kind of like a draw in the first debate, depending on who you talk to. I really do think Trump need to come out and knock out Joe Biden. And it's very, very simple. We know that they're pushing communism. We know that they're supporting violence in these inner cities. We know that they want to defund the police, and we know they have done nothing in 47 years. All of this talk of racial injustice and police reform, they've done none of that in 47 years, none of it. And so that's all he has to do is just go on that merit.
Yeah, I mean, Pence was so smooth. Like you said, she'd give him a question. Thank you, Susan. And then go into it. And then when he said, well, let me respond to what she said first, then I'll get back to your question. He did that. He responded to what Kamala Harris said, and then he came back to the question that the moderator asked, and that again showed his mental sharpness to put a pin on that and come back to it after he made his point. Kamala was over there. I mean, if there was a camera behind her, you could see what was on her paper. She was probably doodling, probably drawing stuff, playing hangman or something. She was unprepared. This man was over there slicing and dicing, and she wasn't ready for it. That man is a master at what he does. I almost want him to sub in for Trump in the next debate. Not that Trump can't handle it, but boy, Mike Pence, let me tell you, that man, he's a Terminator. He's there to destroy, and that's it.
People keep saying that did Trump drop out of the debate? I didn't hear that he dropped out of the debate. Some people keep saying that he did.
No, what happened was the administration for the debates, they want to do the debate virtual, and Trump said, "No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, somebody could say he dropped out, but it's like, nah, he wants to do the debate, but in person. It's a conditional thing. And, the whole thing about that is crazy because the debate commission rejected a request from the Trump administration or his campaign or whatever to have more debates and have them earlier because they said, well, virus or no virus, it's been this way for a long time and we're not going to change. It's set in stone. All the dates are going to be there, X, Y, and Z. But now all of a sudden that Trump had the virus, they say, okay, we're going to change it now. Well, why didn't you want to change it before? Virus or no virus, right? You got all these partitions set up so nobody spreads the virus and everybody got to wear masks and stuff like that. Do the same thing with the next debate and have it in person. What's the difference? If the partitions work, if the masks work, if all the hand washing works, why not do all that same stuff and still have the debate in person?
Right. I mean, I think that they can do that. They can do a significant amount of social distance if they want, and they cannot have a crowd. I mean, if it's just him and Pence, not him and Pence, if it's just him and Joe Biden, what's the deal, man? Like, let them get out there and do it. Put a partition there, make them far apart on the stage. They don't have to be really, really that close on the stage because you could pan the camera between the two of them, have them at a reasonable distance. But they know that stuff don't work, man. They know none of this stuff work. They know it's bull crap. They've been sitting up here lying to us all this time about the COVID-19 and all this stuff. So they know like they can't do that because technically it'll prove them wrong that none of this stuff really works in the first place, that if you're going to get it, you're going to get it. Donald Trump is the most secure human being on planet Earth when it comes to, not getting COVID. I mean, none of us get people tested before you go to your job. They don't test everybody and make sure they have it or not. They may take temperature, but you can have it and still not have a temperature. You can be, what do they call it? You can be asymptomatic and you can have it and not have a temperature, any signs, you can still spread it, technically is what they say. So it's like, if everybody's getting tested before they come around him, he's social distancing. How did he get it? It's because people are going to get it, man, whether you're asymptomatic or whether you have symptoms. I think me and my wife got it, and we had it. And when we had the symptoms, we just stayed away from people and then we were all right. You're going to get it. And these people are just sitting up here lying and making up stuff. Do you guys see the feed smoothly? Is it smooth?
That looks good to me, man.
Well, see, I think they may be on their phones. It could be the same issue because I see it on my desktop and it's fine. But if they're on their phones, it might be an issue with that. But on my desktop, it's fine.
Yeah, my desktop is giving me an error every couple minutes. It's saying YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth stream. As such, viewers will experience buffering.
Oh, that could be your end.
Yeah, I don't know why, because it's going back between excellent and every 5 minutes it's going back and forward.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Oh, now
and
it's
it
back.
said, huh?
It's back messed up. I don't have any idea why. My internet is good, but I guess we shall continue, because I could tell that's why not a lot of people are on here right now, because they experience a lot of buffering.
Okay.
I wonder, should I restart it? What do y'all think? Should we restart it?
Sure.